Hiring the wrong way, especially the wrong people, can slow your project down more than just doing it yourself. That was a hard lesson for me. Early on, I thought hiring was all about hiring my friends. What I learned is that it's about hiring aligned people. Sometimes that includes your friends, sometimes it doesn't. What you're about to watch is an excerpt from one of my Producing for Success workshops, where we talk through about how hiring decisions actually impact the health and pace of a project. If you want deeper structure around building teams with clarity and taking out all the guesswork, my Plan Like a Pro blueprint is linked in the description. But this will make sense all on its own. Keep watching. This right here is from the Love My Roomie premiere. That was a very early premiere after I had just filmed what now barely even exists in the series. But this was from March 3rd, 2018 was the date at the Brick Ballroom in Brooklyn. Rented the whole ballroom, had live music, dancers, DJs, vendors. And the vendors also help offset the cost because they rented vendor booths. And so that went into me paying for the location. Tip. All right, building your team part two. So how to verify the skills of the people. You're going to review the resumes, reels, portfolio. You're going to leverage your word of mouth as well. So you can spread the word about your crew and your casting calls through threads. That's Instagram threads, Facebook groups, Instagram crew calls, said that, referrals from colleagues and instructors, etc. Tips for hiring: look for similar past project experience. You might want to, if you're producing a sci-fi, you're writing a sci-fi and you have a DP in mind, but the DP is only ever, pointed their camera at dramatic scenes, they may not be the best person for your sci-fi. Or perhaps they are like, I'm really trying to branch out. I want to do more genre. And then maybe you all are going to be great collaborators. But keep that in mind, because it is going to be important for you to understand the context by which they are entering into agreement with you for your project, so that when you're on set, you're not surprised that your cinematographer who has never shot sci-fi isn't thinking about the green screen, or is they've got shadows on the green screen or whatever, or the green screen is wrinkled, like whatever it is, right? You have to have that context. So assume nothing in production across the board. I was assuming assume nothing. All right, you're going to check people's social footprint and compatibility with your team. It's the same thing that people are doing in hiring now anyways, right? Are they compatible? Do you need somebody who has more IMDb credits because perhaps you want someone with, a social calling card, or with an industry calling card? These things are okay to desire. You just need to be clear about them with yourself first, with your team, right? And then you want to ask during your interview process, ask them how they handle conflict and why they're interested in your particular project, right? And you also want to know if they've researched your project or your work, or if they're solely seeking credit. It isn't a bad thing if someone is solely seeking credit, but you do need to note that, because it will impact how they show up for your project. They might be extremely professional on set, but when it comes to the post production process, or when it comes to festivals or distribution or marketing, they may not be reposting on Instagram. They may not be really engaging with it on LinkedIn, whatever, right? You've got to know every team member's why for your project. And as long as you have peace for what their why is, you can hire them. But just make sure you're clear about what they're looking for in your project. It's also good, it's good practice because especially on independent projects where money is typically tight, and time is certainly always tight in production. Just knowing every single person's why and being able to build those relationships, which we're going to talk about in a moment, is really important. That's how you're able to bring the same people back, because like, oh, you're looking for more credits, or oh, you really like my work, or you're an actor and you really want to build your reel, whatever. You understand what's connecting them to your work. Okay. If this way of thinking was useful, there are more conversations like this on this channel. Take what helps, leave what doesn't.